see the back? Can you see the back? Seeing it. You see? Everybody knows that I am the go-to source of Dragon Ball Z news. I apologize. The news came out weeks ago about this Dragon Ball Z movie that's being made. Sorry, news came out a long time ago, a couple months ago. But weeks ago, they given us a brief image of the new Dragon Ball Z movie that's coming out in 2013. The image shows half of the Dragon Ball Z warriors, and it shows another half of what you would call Egyptian gods. DBZ Battle of the Gods, or whatever it's called. Real brief, giving you a real brief description on what's really going to go on in this 2013 movie. Now, before we get into that, let's go back to Dragon Ball Z's record history. Let's go back to the history of Dragon Ball Z movies. Now, the anime has been doing good since Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z is when it really kicked it up a notch and really just transformed into a whole nother level, you know? In Dragon Ball, it showed that Goku was a special kid. In Dragon Ball Z, it showed that Goku was an alien from outer space. That came from it was just crazy deep, yo. I will give you another video of Dragon Ball Z, but today I need to talk about the movies. If you want to hear me talk about Dragon Ball Z, you can go back into the plethora of amazing videos that I have. And you can go back and look at all that. I give you nothing but brief details and history of Dragon Ball Z. But now, I never really talked about the movies. There's a reason why. Let's be honest, Dragon Ball Z has fell off after the Frieza Saga. After the Frieza Saga, the Dragon Ball Z franchise has been a little shaky. A lot of people thought that it fell off after the Cell Saga because of their favorite character. Their favorite character was Gohan, and he transformed into the Super Saiyan Man. That's my laugh to the Dragon Ball. That's for the Goku haters. Gohan's the greatest. No, Gohan. Anywho, but the movies, wow. The movies, wow. I think I've been the biggest hater of Dragon Ball Z movies that there is. There are two movies that I do like. Those are that's back in the original, back when Dragon Ball Z was creative, and that was the Tree of Might and the World's Strongest, I'm gonna say. Whatever. Those are the two best ones. I like the World's Strongest because Dragon Ball Z. When you look at Dragon Ball Z, there's not a lot of animation that goes in with the Dragon Ball Z cartoons. It's usually just, you know what I'm saying? It's 3 hours of this, and then there's, there's this 3 hours of still images of going, but it was the greatest thing. Like, oh snap, it's going down, son. It's going down. Like, you know, you're like, you know, you're really pumped up. You know what I'm saying? But in the World's Strongest, it was really showing Goku doing some pretty cool stuff. You know what I'm saying? He was all up in here doing one of these jump offs. You know what I'm saying? He was in there like this, and it was like really showing off its skills, really showing off some movie skills, really showing off animation. And I thought it was mad tight. The Tree of Might, I thought it was good because it had a pretty good story, and it took Goku's brother, who was a Black Saiyan, and it really just shows that to this day I firmly believe that Goku is an has African descent in him, because Turles is a dark-skinned guy. It's kind of my color. It looks just like me. If you know, if there was an alternate version of Goku, I would be him and I would be Turles. You know what I'm saying? Even though I think I may be a little bit more cool, whatever. So I'm guessing, like, you know, you used to see Bardock, and Bardock looks like Goku. So I'm thinking like Goku's mother was African, yo. That's what I'm thinking, yo. You know what I'm saying? No, there's no way in the... That's it. You know what, Toby? Alright, let me get to my point. After that, and they were just pretty decent movies at that, but they were good. After that, I thought the rest of the movies sucked. I thought the Broly movies are horrible. I didn't like the first Broly. I didn't like the first Broly is one of the, no, I think it's terrible. The first Broly sucks. The second Broly sucks. The third Broly, oh my god. Oh my god. I can't even think right now. The Dragon Ball Z movies are just bad. I actually did see one in a couple years back. It was a long time ago, but it was still a little sooner, where Trunks had got his sword. I thought it was decent, but still was like, oh, this is garbage. You know, I watched it once and then that was enough. And, you know, this movie that's coming out in 2013, I mean, you got to think of the Dragon Ball Z's record now. Like, they're basically just running on fumes, you know. Like, whoever, I wish I was in charge, you know, then I can really get this thing going. But, you know, like, we got the Kai's series that's horrible. We got the games that are, you know, falling off. And, you know, like, I mean, it's cool that we're going to have a Dragon Ball Z movie in 2013. It's cool to see the game back together. But, I don't know. But, hold on, let me go back. I wanted to say something. I forgot. I wanted to say something that was going to be funny, but I forgot. God dang it. But anyway, to go back to what I was saying, the track record of the Dragon Ball Z is just looking pretty bad, man. You know, I don't want to hype up this movie and say it's going to, whoa, look at, wow, look at who are these special characters? I don't give a flip. It doesn't really matter. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. This is why Dragon Ball Z movies suck. I'm going to end the video with this. With Dragon Ball Z is awesome, but this is the reason why Kai sucks. This is why the movies suck, because you're cramming all this bull crap in a certain amount of time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, listen, bear with me now. In Dragon Ball Z, when you can tell when somebody's being creative when they're extending out. Sometimes people felt like it was a little extra, but I thought it was perfect. They were just the fillers and the episodes and the character breakdowns and it had a chance to just it did everything on its own time. You know what I'm saying? But when you cram it down to a 60-minute movie or 2-hour movie, which I doubt it'd be that long. You had to put all this bull crap into 60 minutes, but with the Dragon Ball Z, you had episode 1 that was half an hour, but it didn't go anywhere. So that's why people were like, oh my god, you know, this guy's still powering up for his Kamehameha. And it was like, but it was cool, but you can't do the same amount of time that you do for Kamehameha in one movie, so you're cramming all that together. I don't hope I'm making sense right now. It's like the Zombie 70 video. I go on as long as I can go on. I put down everything I have to say. I put down whatever I want to say, and I never wanted to cram. If I was able to cram myself in 5 minutes and say 5 minutes is my only thing, I can still do it. I'm still the best, and there's nobody in the world that's even gonna be better than me if I put it in 5 minutes. But I like to extend the video. That's why people can sit there. You can sit there and watch a Zombie 70 video. It can be 20 minutes and 55 seconds, and you can sit there watching the whole thing, and it felt like it was 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? You're glued. You're glued in. Compared to these other reviewers who do 5-minute videos, and you're like, Jesus Christ, like, you know, I gotta go to school, this is taking forever, this is boring. That's how the Dragon Ball Z movies are. Dragon Ball Z movies are like Zombie 70 movies. Dragon Ball Z series is like Zombie 70 videos. They can extend and go on, and your hours of your life are going away, but you don't know it because you're having a good time. With the movies, they're cramming in all this bullcrap in 5 minutes, and it sucks. That's why I think this movie's gonna suck. Okay, it's cool. You're fighting Egyptian guys. That is amazing. That is cool. You're going up against the people of the past who used to dominate, and there's the Saiyans who are up and coming race compared to the people who were dominating back in the past with the Egyptians, and the Saiyans who are a bunch of little black people coming up against the Egyptians. It's the old black people versus the new black people. Coming up against each other, clashing together, baby. Listen, I haven't did a chair video in a long time, so I'm all over the place, mother suckers. Listen, I'm gonna watch the movie. I'm probably going to enjoy it, but due to Dragon Ball Z's track record, I think it's gonna suck just like all the other ones. The worst of them all is the Broly Saga. All the Broly sucked. I hated it.
That's because, you know, that's because Broly was beating up Piccolo and Goku, and you know how sensitive you get up.
No, it just sucks. When somebody sits here,
Oh my God, so you gotta see Broly. He's one of the greatest Saiyans of all time. He's great. Watch it.
and I watch it, I'm like, this sucks. So that's why I'm not hyping up this Dragon Ball Z movie. Because, you know, I mean,
Come on! Dragon Ball Z movies blow! You know this. We just watched one the other day. You fell asleep.